question before us is simple. Is the Warhammer 40k universe the worst place to live? Well, yes. Yes, it is. But at the same time, is it really? Let's dive into it and just see how the Imperium is both maybe the best and worst places to live. So when we are talking about the 40k universe, we have to be a little specific. What we mean is the current date, the 42nd millennium, not the days of the Horus Heresy or the Dark Age of technology, or even 80 million years ago during the War in Heaven. No, we mean the current time, and we're focusing on the Imperium. But why the Imperium? Well, because it gives us the best view of what it's like to live in the 40k universe, and what we're going to focus on, what it's like for you as the average human, your run-of-the-mill, working day in, down out, soon-to-be conscripted human. The Imperium is an empire of 1,000,000 worlds. You are one of untold billions of humans spread across a multitude of different world types. To live in this time is to be part of the cruelest and most brutal regime imaginable, to know suffering and hardship and endless war. But it's also an empire of paradise worlds, verdant agri-worlds of vast farms, and shrine worlds of towering architecture and worship, places that have potentially known peace for centuries. It has always been a belief of mine, in the years that I've been exploring the Warhammer universe, that there are planets within the Imperium that have not known the touch of conflict for decades, or even hundreds of years. Safer worlds, if honestly such a thing could be said, within the borders of the Imperium that have been protected by the innumerable fleets and vast armies conducting their war out on the front lines. At least, maybe until the galaxy was torn in two. Millions of citizens living their whole lives in the service of the Imperium in ways that are not involved in war. Administratum clerks on civilized worlds, manufacturing workers on industrial worlds, and farm workers working the horizon-spanning fields of agri-worlds. These people have perhaps never known war, except in the endless reports and imperial propaganda. Entire generations of families living, working the land, doing the same jobs in and out. We have anecdotal evidence from some of the books where families of administration clerks have just worked the same desk job one after the other. Yeah, that's arguably they know some hardships and strife, but it's not the unending battle. They're not getting torn apart by Tyranids or devoured by chaos monstrosities or whatever the orcs feel like doing to you on that day. So, is that arguably bad? It's true to say, and I can already hear the clack of keyboards of people throwing themselves into the comments to say, but industrial accidents and cruel working conditions, and yes, that may be true, but it's not the front lines, it's not war, it's not your 15 minutes of survivability in the guard. It's arguably kinda normal. Your exact status and position within the Imperium of Van does make a vast difference about just how your life is going to go. Any position with a relatively high level of authority compared to your average menial serf is going to be equipped with just a nicer standard of living. And we're not even talking about things like planetary lords and things like that. You are going to have a better life simply because you are not the scrub who is doing the lowest of the low tasks that you can't give to a penal legion or to a servitor. And anything outside of the military arm of the Imperium is automatically going to be just better. You have to remember the simple fact that the majority of the 40k universe is told about the conflict, about the warring, about the endless cruelty that happens to all of the races, not just humanity. But for every guardsman that is out there on the front lines, there is 10 more citizens somewhere on the planet living their life. And the various planets that we know about within the Imperium. Yes, for every Armageddon, Cadia, Krieg, there's going to be an agri-world, a civilized world, a feudal world that knows not the touch of technology, just knows the Imperium of man as these gods from the stars. There are worlds that exist within the Imperium that are just fine. There are entire ocean planets whose entire purpose with their floating cities is just to produce water, to draw water, to have it transported up into the ships and sent off to forge worlds, to hive worlds, places that don't have their own natural water. The people that man these stations for life, that's all they do. Yeah, there's going to be hardships. Yeah, they're going to have to meet those imperial tithes. But at the end of the day, they're going to clock off. They're going to go down the pub. They're going to sip their recaf. They're not going to struggle. Certainly nowhere near as much as your newly conscripted guardsmen. Then again, why is 40k the worst place to live? The 40k universe, everything that could be happening is happening somewhere, all the time and all at once. Chaos fleets tear from the wall, Drukhari prey upon shipping lanes and outposts, Tyranid hive fleets devour whole sectors before word can reach the Imperium at large, and Orc wars plunge unsuspecting worlds into endless war. At any moment, a Hulk could appear in the edge of your system containing Chaos Renegades, Gene Stealers, Orcs, or huge numbers of demons, and that is a thing that is constantly about to happen. It is the never-ceasing potential of something to happen at any time within the 40k verse that makes it the worst. Even if your world has been peaceful for centuries, who knows if that chaos cult in the dark dens of the capital hasn't just caught the eye of their patron and is about to summon forth demons, or, unbeknownst to those on board, the cargo vessel that has just docked into the orbital spire contains passengers with a few too many arms. At any point, something could fall from orbit and raise the entire planet. If you're lucky enough not to be one of the billions serving in the military arm or supportive arms of the Imperial war machine, you might know moments of quiet in a galaxy of unending war. But at any time, that could end, never to return. The Imperium of Man, the 40k universe, is the worst place to live. But at the same time, it could be a really nice place to live. But there's one thing that we know. No matter what station you have in the entirety of the Imperium of Man, the Emperor protects. And you'd better believe it.